الحرام ورأيت الكعبة وصليت? Did you go into the haram? Did you see the Kaaba with your eyes? Did you pray the salat that is to be prayed there? And Shibli said yes, 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 after which Imam alayhi salam explained to him the inner aspects of these, all of them one by one. The tawaf, the cutting of the hair, the throwing the stones, the slaughtering the animal. And Imam explained to him the inner aspect of all of these. After Shibli replied that no, he hadn't considered these things, Imam alayhi salam told him, فَمَا وَصَلْتَ الْمِنَا وَلَا رَمَيْتَ الْجَمَارِ وَلَا حَلَقْتَ رَأْسَكَ وَلَا أَدَيْتَ نَسْكَكَ. Afterwards, Imam finally tells him after all this, إِرْجَعْ فَإِنَّكَ لَمْ تَحِجْ. Go back, go back and return, for indeed you haven't performed the Hajj altogether. فَطَفَقَ الشِّبْلِ يَبْكِي عَلَى مَا فَرَّطَهُ فِي الْحَجِّ. So Shibli started weeping and crying over those things which escaped him and what he had missed in Hajj. Alhamdulillah, Shibli managed to perform the Hajj again, keeping all these aspects that Imam had told him in mind. Inshallah, when we go to Hajj now the next time, may Allah grant those who have been to Hajj that opportunity once again. And for those who haven't been, may Allah grant them this journey towards Himself. But we see also this inner aspect of the Hajj in another hadith from Abu Basir. Abu Basir was a companion of Imam Baqir alayhi salam as well as Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. So we have a hadith from him from Imam Baqir alayhi salam. قال أبو بصير للباقر عليه السلام. Abu Basir said to Imam al-Baqir, he commented to him. He said to him, ما أكثر الحجيج وأعظم الضجيج. Keep in mind, Abu Basir was a blind man. And in considering this, we see his name Abu Basir is somewhat ironic. But Abu Basir was a blind man. He told he could hear the sound of Hajj, the Hujjaj, so many of them. So he commented to Imam like he was impressed. ما أكثر الحجيج وأعظم الضجيج. How many pilgrims have come and how much the tremendous the hustle and bustle and the sound of Hajj is. Imam replied to him, فَقَالَ عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامُ بَلْ مَا أَكْثَرَ الضَّجِيجُ وَأَقَلِّ الْحَجِيجِ. Rather, how much sound there is, what a tremendous sound there is, but what few Hajjaj, what few pilgrims there really are. Then he asked Abu Basir, أَتُحِبُّ أَن تَعْلَمَ صِدْقَ مَا أَقُولُ وَتَرَاهُ عَيَانًا. Do you really wish to see what I'm saying? With your own eyes you wish to see it? فمسح يده على عينيه ودعا بالدعوات فعاد بصيرا. So when he rubbed his hand on the eyes of Abu Basir and he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Abu Basir regained his sight momentarily. He told Abu Basir, انظر يا أبا بصير إلى الحجيج. Now after your comment, look at the pilgrims with your own eyes. Abu Basir says, فقال, Abu Basir says, نظرت فإذا أكثر الناس قردة وخنازير. I saw that most of the people were either monkeys or pigs. والمؤمن بينهم مثل الكوكب اللامع في الظلماء. And the real believer from amongst them was shining out like a luminous star in the darkness. This is how Abu Basir saw the Hajj, and it shows us the inner aspects of the Hajj. And so to quickly cover the points we've covered so far in this discussion. First of all, number one, man was created to worship Allah and nothing else. As we saw from the ayah of the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Number two, man has both inner aspects and outer aspects. Has an inner as well as an outer, internal as well as external. And Shaitan was the first person to ignore this. And if we ignore this in our ibadat, we are following his sunnah. And so both of these aspects need to be considered in all our aspects of worship, be it salat, or sawm, or hajj, or zakat, or anything. Thirdly, Imam alayhi salam, Abi Abdullah Hussein headed for the hajj. And the inner aspect of the hajj is an entire journey within itself, as we have discovered today. A, we said Arafah is to know Allah. B, Muzdalifah is to come closer to Allah, is Dalafa, is Dalifu. Mina is where I cut my ego off and cut my hair. Tawaf is where I revolve around my own heart, my qalb. Sa'i is my effort and my endurance in His way. My ihram is my detachment from everything, from the dunya, such that I can't even smell good perfume while I'm in ihram. I can't do any of these things. I am detached from the dunya because I'm returning to Allah. Number 4, we discovered Shibli and his narration which Imam Sajjad alayhi salam blessed him with, showed him the secrets of the Hajj. And this is a very long narration. Before any of us go to Hajj, we should pay attention to this. Each of the aspects of the Hajj is covered in this hadith. We just mentioned a very small excerpt of this hadith. But it's a very long hadith which carries many secrets. And 5thly, when Abu Basir's vision was returned to him, he saw most pilgrims were just pigs and monkeys, as they had not paid attention to the inner aspects of the Hajj. And so we see Abi Abdullah alayhi salam. He headed towards the Hajj. From Medina, before going to Iraq, he came to Mecca. He wanted to perform the Hajj. The Hajj, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about which He says in the Holy Quran, وَفِيهِ آيَاتٌ بَيِّنَاتٌ مَقَامُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَمَنْ دَخَلَهُ كَانَ آمِنًا. This house of Allah contains the signs, the clear signs. And whoever enters this house is safe. وَمَنْ دَخَلَهُ كَانَ آمِنًا. Everyone is safe except the son of Rasulullah. Because the murderers and assassins chased him even to this house to kill him, such that he was prevented from completing his Hajj. Allah says in the Quran, وَمَنْ دَخَلَهُ كَانَ آمِنًا. And these cursed people of Shaitan say, no, the son of Rasulullah will not be safe. Not even in the sanctuary of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we saw in the poem yesterday, as Imam left Medina, فَخَرَجَ مِنْهَا خَائِفًا يَتَرَقَّبُ كَخُرُوجِ مُوسَى خَائِفًا يَتَكَتَّمُ وَقَدْ انْجَلَى عَنْ مَكَّةَ وَهُوَ ابْنُهَا وَبِهِ تَشَرَّفَتِ الْحَطِيمُ وَزَمْزَمُ. But even from this place where Zamzam and the Hatim were honored by his presence, he was chased away from this place because they were after his life. And eventually Imam alayhi salam, after meeting with Hur, as we discussed yesterday, ends up on the plain of Karbala and asks, what is the name of this place? They tell him it is called Nainawa. We have reached Nainawa.